Comedian C. Byrne in the studio with us. Always good to see you, Steve. What's up, man? How's the world?
Not much. How are you guys? Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah, you bet.
Why the laughing? He was being honest.
No,
I
no,
know
no.
Big D.
No. I was just thinking about because my son's over there, and I know he's gonna be rating that M&M vending thing you have.
Steve's kids are here with him, and we have free M&Ms and Reese's Pieces in the, and you can just hear it. You hear the little,
You hear the little turn of the machine.
I had gotten an antique gumball machine. You know Aaron Weber?
Yeah.
On Nateland, Nate's podcast. So I went to this antique store and I saw this glove, this baseball glove, and it was a little kid's glove, and I just picked it up and I put my hand in it, kind of, do that, and it says Aaron Weber on it. I was like, wait, there's no way this is like Aaron Weber's glove, right? So I just thought, oh, it's funny, and I took a picture of it. And then later on that day, I bought this gumball machine, and I went home to my hotel room, and then I sent Aaron the picture. It was his glove.
What?
He's like,
What?
He's like, I just sent that to my mom. He's like, yeah, that's my mom's penmanship. And then my dad said, that's definitely your glove. So I went back. They were closed, but I ended up contacting them and having the glove sent to Aaron. So Aaron,
What?
I
I
love
found
that.
his glove.
How did
Isn't that
his
crazy?
glove end up in an antique store?
I
I don't know. And then I found his training bra in California as well. So, but I got this gumball machine, and now we have, like, I filled it up with gumballs. I got a 10-year-old and a 7-year-old, and now we have an alarm clock at 7 in the morning. And the third day, my wife just flipped out. She's like, Kent, stop eating the gum. You got to eat breakfast, do your chores, brush your teeth, spit it out now. And he takes this huge wad of gum out and puts it in her hand. He goes, you got to chill with that bullshit. And I was like, yes, yes. You said it for both of us, man.
Yeah, you raised them right.
Yeah.
Raising them right, Steve.
That's right, yeah.
I like it. I like what you're doing there.
Thank you.
Good stuff. All right. Okay. Steve's got he's got some specials going on. Has to do with Amazon Prime. This is pretty cool, man. And the whole concept. We'll talk about that next. Hang on. Comedian C. Byrne's joining us in the studio. You can find him online. Just look up, see if it's Byrne. So this special that you're doing, this stage show, this is kind of a different thing. The way you're doing it. I know it's being filmed for Amazon Prime.
Yes.
Stand-up. Can we talk about how this is completely?
You can talk about whatever you want.
I've never heard of anyone doing a show quite like this.
Neither have I. I mean, look, every hour special you've seen these days is somebody coming out in front of curtains and they're pontificating for 60 minutes, this kind of stream of consciousness. And I just thought, I kind of got my teeth kicked in by the industry the last few years. You know, you have ebbs and flows, right? Uh-huh. And after Sullivan's Son got off the air, just nobody called, nothing. And I've been just clawing my way back to some semblance of, like, relevance, right? So I thought, boy, if I get another shot at doing an hour special, it's got to hit the mark. So I was watching these I got this box set of Johnny Carson. And I was like, wow, this is really cool. If you really dissect a talk show, it's 3 styles of writing. You have topical one-liners, which is your monologue. Then you sit at the couch and you talk to Jimmy or Colbert, and that's storytelling. And then you have traditional stand-up at the end next to the band. So I thought 3 styles of writing. You could do an hour special on the set of a talk show, but be the only comic on the talk show and take the audience through an hour special that is under the umbrella of something that's so familiar, which is a late night talk show. And for me, late night talk shows are losing relevance, much like the variety shows in the 70s and 80s. We saw the death of those kind of go away recently. And I think the same thing's going to happen with talk shows. I don't think they're as relevant because of the media on our cell phones these days. Right. So I thought, okay, why don't you do a special, but do it in the homage of thanking the late night talk show, but also kind of like contorting your material towards it. So I've spent 5 years working on evergreen topical monologue jokes, Kim Jong-un, always in the news. Kim Jong-un recently achieved the highest rank in the North Korean army, 5'6". I don't know if you guys saw Joe Biden obviously tested positive for COVID twice back to back, and I guess he's adhering to the get well card Donald Trump sent him because it says stay positive. But get ready to see a new Joe Biden, because Joe Biden, obviously, he has COVID twice. So you're going to see something you've not seen before. He's going to be a little sluggish, hard with the memory, slow motor skills. It's like stuff like that I've been working on too. And there's a lot worse ones. Like, these are the nice ones.
These are the ones we can say on the radio.
Okay,
I like it.
the concept is, instead of doing a stand-up, you're going to be sitting down at the desk, though, for part of...
I'll sit down, I'll do some storytelling, and this all has an arc, because you're kind of coming out, and I think this day and age, comics are trying to push the pendulum back on woke and cancel culture and everything. So mine is going to be an arc where there's a story at the end. It all kind of ties together at the end to deliver a message. And I think a lot of the messages comedians are doing nowadays is, you know, we're the last vessel of free speech, et cetera, et cetera. It's like, that's good. I think that's good that comics are doing it. But I'm doing it a little differently, where I'm expressing the things that were said to me and saying, look, people said awful things to me. Look what happened to me. I'm a comedian. So, you know, sometimes these things can turn out to be okay. You can bubble wrap your kids, or you can expose them. And I think if you toughen up the skin, I think that they can, to the betterment of them into adulthood, is kind of the point.
Don't you kind of see, I kind of feel like it's coming back around, all the...
I do too.
I really do.
I do too. And the other thing I enjoy about this, I'm getting a lot of flack from my friends who are stand-ups, because a lot of stand-ups, as you know, and folks in entertainment lean hard left.
Yeah.
And I'm someone who's more of a centrist. And so what I really like about this is you're seeing a late night talk show that's kind of going after the left the way the left goes after the right. So a lot of these, I'm coming out of the gates pretty hard on the current administration, especially. And then the pendulum swings, of course, because as a comic, you cannot not acknowledge Donald Trump. He's so entertaining.
So much comedy there, yes.
And I definitely hope he runs again as a comedian. Yep. As a comedian. I definitely hope he runs again. Get ready for me. I'm coming, everybody. It's going to be great. It's going to be great.
When's the special, what do you think is going to be out on Amazon?
Usually it's like a 4-month turnaround. It depends, you know, on their
just in time for Christmas.
Just in time for the holidays. Yeah, this is what every family wants to gather around the Yule log for. But I had my choice of doing it anywhere, and I recently moved to Nashville about 1.5 years ago. Absolutely love it, and when we were discussing places to film, I looked at the Franklin Theater. I thought, this is it, because you walk in, and when you do those late night talk shows, it's usually only 150, 200, maybe 225 max seating. Yeah. Even when you do the Tonight Show, it's not that much. Late show with like Corden, that's maybe like 100, if that. Oh, wow. So I walked in there, and it's a beautiful show with purple and gold trim and curtains. I was like, oh my God, this is gorgeous. So my good friend Joe Gatto from Impractical Jokers is going to direct it. And we're gonna see how this thing goes.
That's awesome. That's
pretty
awesome.
Excited.
Well, yes, Patrick.
I was just gonna say there's another style of comedy that Steve's not gonna put in his special, or at least based on his description. I want to talk about that in just a minute, because I think, Steve,
intriguing.
Yes.
What a big market tease that
Big
is.
market tease.
Leaving the pink spoon. I like the taste. Speaking of Sunday, what is going on here?
I was about to take a break, and now I have to wait. There's more.
Drum roll.
All right, Steve Byrne's joining us. It's his Instagram. It's Steve Byrne Live, and we'll come back with Steve and Patrick finding out what this is about. Who knows? Hang on. Comedian Steve Byrne is joining us in the studio. You can check him out online, Steve Byrne Live, on all the social media. What's up, Patrick?
Okay, so you're talking about your special that you're going to be taping, and that you're going to do one-liners and then storytelling, then traditional stand-up. But you are one of the last comedians holding on to crowd work as an art form, because you have done shows, and I've seen this at comedy clubs where it's like Steve Byrne tonight only, and all he's doing is crowd work, which is where you make fun of the audience that's in front of you. Is that it? Is that dead? Or are you the only one still doing it?
No. There's quite a few that are really good at it. Andrew Schultz is great. Big J. Okerson's great. Attell's obviously phenomenal. Jeff Ross, incredible. Jessica Kierson out of New York, she's phenomenal. There's a handful of comics that are great. But again, I think that sometimes when people hear, oh, you're a stand-up comic, it's like, you know, it's kind of like you choose to be a Swiss Army knife, or you stay in one gear, right? And I've tried to do a little bit of everything. So even with the new hour, topical one-liners, that's a different muscle. Roasting's a muscle. Crowd work is definitely a muscle. And
can you crowd work us a little bit? I mean, we're pretty easy.
Oh my God, this
to
No,
make
this
has
is
got to be
nightmare.
the easiest.
I give you 3 big fat guys, Steve. Go.
The problem Steve's gonna have is like it's changing it up each one.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
got a fat
I walked
joke on
in here. I
guy.
thought this was the waiting room for Golden Corral. I was like, oh, they're not seating yet. But I've never done radio in a Hot Topic before either, so this is very exciting.
See, that's what I'm talking about.
But crowd work, it is fun. It's a total blast, and you live by the wire. You don't know what's going to happen. So I do a monthly show at Zanies called Steve Byrne versus Nashville, and it's starting to garner like the following, where people are like, oh my God, what's he? And it's only the last 2 times I asked for wireless, and now I'm going into the audience and going to the back
brave.
of
Do
the
you
room and
fear
everything.
for your
So-
life at all?
Right?
Does it get?
There was one time where I was like, "Oh, this black guy." And you shouldn't even say that right these days. So this registered Democrat took offense to what I was saying, and I thought, oh, okay. But then that's the fun of the show is like you poke the bear, and then you got to cut the blue wire within 3 seconds. So that's the fun of it.
You
and
have
it's
to
like,
hurry up and disarm everything.
You got to disarm, but not only disarm, you got to make them laugh. And so that's the key is I've tried to put myself in situations where you're like, are you really going to say this? And then you say it, you're like, oh my God, how am I going to get out? But that's the challenge now is like, go there, go to the place that everybody doesn't want you to do it. And then you pull it back and you get the guy to laugh or you get the girl to laugh. It's the best feeling in the world. That's the new challenge.
Has it blown up in your face though?
Not yet. No. Not yet. I think like after a while you just
All knock on wood.
Yeah, so far so good. But I think I always try to deliver it with a wink and a smile, and you always get somebody a drink afterwards as well. So it is darn fun.
What's the, it's like hey, it's a comedy show. Like, come on,
Yeah.
like get it. Don't go angry to a comedy show.
But so many comedians are like shying away from anything controversial or just terrified of, oh, what if? And you're just going right after people in front of you.
Yeah.
That's a different.
Yeah. Yeah, there's no indoor cats at this show.
Steve Byrne, you can be on the lookout for the new Amazon Prime stand-up comedy special. It's coming soon. We'll let you know when it gets.
Yeah, well, you can come
close
to it. You can come to the taping. It's Saturday, August 27th at the Franklin Theater. You go to my socials or go to Franklin Theater. I think it's like .com, franklintheater.com. And there's a show at 7. There's a show at 9:30. Again, Joe Gatto's directing it. My good buddy Gary Cannon, who does the warm-up for Masked Singer, and Conan O'Brien. He's phenomenal. He's going to be warming up. And if I think I'm good at crowd work, Gary Cannon's literally one of the best. He will dump on everybody. He dumps on me. When we were doing Sullivan & Son, you do these roll calls. So you're taping in front of a live studio audience, and one by one, he's like, how about for Dan Laurie, from Wonder Years, or, Roy Wood Jr., and you come out, and then he would always take digs at me. He's like, he just graduated from the Rob Schneider Academy of Dramatic Arts, Steve Byrne. It's like, dude, come on, man. I'm the star of my show, and you're taking a dump on me. Jesus.
That's why you love him. That's
I
why
do
you
love him. I do love him. He's great.
Dude, it's good to see you again. And
Thank you, guys.
We'll see you. Congratulations. That's huge, man. Welcome back.
I appreciate it. It's great to be here in Nashville. It's nice to be in a state, in a city where people seem to be normal.
Yeah, somewhat. Steve Byrne, everyone. Thank you, Steve.
Thanks, guys.
Hey, if you like that video, go ahead and subscribe and like and hit the bell and do all the stuff.